song, is that worship? No. When you cry out to God, is that worship? Is it worship? Who say yes?
Yes.
Come on, Pajana, but you say yes.
Yes.
All right. Who says no? Okay, so we got some who said no. Okay, we're going to answer that question. Is worship you feeling God's presence? Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Anybody say no? Pardon? That's iffy. We got an iffy in the house. Okay, all right. Is worship you shouting? No. Who says yes? Worship has nothing to do with you shouting. Okay. Is worship an intimate connection with God?
Yes.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking. So how do we connect with God? Prayer, praise, worship. You know, I mean, Minister Eunice went through all of that slide just now. Having the right heart, having the right attitude. What else? Having the right character, having the right connections, having the right company, right? So all of these are attributes. They're attributes to worship. But what is true worship? Does it include you, or is it just about you? What is it? So take me to my next slide, and these are the words that we would have, just mentioned. Look at it. The right song. Some people believe that, hey, if I don't sing the right song, I can't get into the presence. You ever hear that?
Yes.
Anybody ever come to you after service and say, boy, if you'd have sing this song a little longer?
Yes.
Right? Come on, be honest.
Yes.
Or you always sing my song today. That's why I couldn't feel nothing today. Yeah, you hear these things. Is worship you feeling God's presence? By you feeling His presence is His response to your worship. That's all it is. It's a response from what you offer as an individual. And now He is pleased with your worship, and then He touches you. Hey. He is happy and excited about what you offer, and He must respond. Because if I buy you something, I expecting you to say what?
Thank you.
And especially if you buy me something and I don't say thank you, you're going to have a problem with that. Yeah. Oh, she take my things and ain't say nothing? Then you can tell the sister down the road. Right? But all of these, with the exception of the intimate connection with God, they are attributes. They are what we do as an individual, sometimes corporately as well, when we offer up unto the Lord for Him to respond to what we give. We good? So let's find out what is worship. And if you can go in your workbook, and if you follow along with me, there's some sections in there that you can actually fill out as I go along, just for reference. Sometimes you don't get everything, you don't hear everything. And if you can turn to the page that says the importance of individual and corporate worship, you'll find me there. All right, so let us define this word. Next slide, please. What is worship? Worship is about you, but it's not about you. Make sense?
Yes.
How does that make sense? Because it don't make sense to me. It's about you, but it ain't about you. Huh?
God needs you to work.
Needs you as an individual, right? To do what? To have your heart in place. To have the right attitude. Get your mind together. To prepare to go before the Lord. And once you prepare to go before the Lord, and you are ready to give God what is due unto Him, then He would respond. So worship is about you authentically expressing yourself with the intention of pleasing God. That's just like if you tell a child, if you do good in school, I will give you something. If you tell my daughter that, she gonna hold you to your word. Trust me, she gonna hold you to your word. And if she come home and she say, "Mommy, I get a B," she gonna remind me what I said to her. And so I have to be intentional about what I say. Because if I do not keep my word, there's gonna be an issue. So if you say to God, "God, I gonna worship you and give you praise if you give me this calf." And then he can remind you, but then you say, "You was gonna do this for me when I give you this." What happened? Huh? What happened? And then when you get the car, and then the car starts shaking and wiggling, you know, the tire bursts and all kind of things happen. Then you remember, "Oh, I remember I tell God, you know, God, if I worship you in spirit and in truth and in the beauty of holiness," all these different things. Right? But the scriptures requires us to worship God in spirit. It says, "And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth." When we say worship in spirit, worshiping in spirit refers to the heart. We've been hearing that tonight from Minister Eunice Rowe. Your heart has to be in the right place. Don't make no sense you come here broken, thinking about things that just happened before you get into the sanctuary. If God don't have your whole heart, you will not have God's full attention. And that is what we want. So we give him ourselves holistically so he can respond to us in the way that we need him to respond to us. Make sense? If I want a glass of water, and I'm in a restaurant and the waitress comes, "Would you like a glass of water?" I will say to him, "Yes, I would like a glass of water, but I want room temperature water." I made my request known. I gave her my heart's desire. And when you offer up yourself as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service, God has to move on your behalf. He has to move on your behalf. What am I to do? How do I worship in spirit? How do I worship in spirit? I will pray with my spirit. I will pray with my mind. We are made up of mind.